Thomas, Proverbs 22, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Yes,
Improvise,
1922.
improvise on that a bit for me.
You're saying that because you've heard me improvise on it before.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I often talk about that proverb because with education, by the way, John, scripture also tells us that we are a part of a community of past saints as well. So I mean, I think you're spot on with that observation. But I interrupted myself. Yeah, I talk about that proverb because when you look at the word train, the Hebrew word for train, it refers to, well, there's two definitions. One is to declare the child special. It was a word used by Hebrew midwives. And so when the child was born, first objective was to declare that the child was special or worthy. And the second referred to a tart wafer-like thing that they would put on the baby's tongue that would make the baby thirst and therefore want to nurse. And when I talk about that proverb, I say that that's one of our jobs, is not just to teach kids to learn, but to actually teach them to hunger for learning or to thirst for learning. And that's, I think to John's point, we are of a knowledge of an existence when we're in the presence of music that we are constantly struggling to find the words for. We know, we get the why, but we suffer through trying to figure out the how. I'm saying that wrong. We get the what, and we suffer through practicing and rehearsing and contemplating and studying and pondering so that we can get to the how, but we don't have words for the why. And it's the sublimeness of the why that we're constantly trying to get our kids drawn to. And, we got to dot some I's and cross some T's in the process. And we have to come up, I say that I also teach at Indiana University's Jacobs School of Music about part of the year. And I say that I'm mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted once we're done with a concert there, because I've been constantly trying to find words and gestures to get them past worrying about themselves and to try to become really servants to the music, and really trying to understand that their job is that I say that all the time. The most important people in the room at a concert are not sitting on stage. They're sitting in the audience, and I said to our staff, our entire staff at the BSO, in a Zoom meeting, if it's true that this thing called music that we're participating in is not only life affirming but life altering, it is our moral obligation to make sure that it is given to our public as profoundly as possible and as genuinely and honestly as possible. And that requires a lot of work on the front end.